Young Penn Griffin. I go to bat for my niggas. The pun was intended.
Yes. YG 400 is back once again. Now, if you've known me for a long time, I don't think I ever said this on video before, so if you've known me for a long time, and for anybody that wants to know this, y'all should know that I have a kinda love-hate for YG. And the reason for that is because I've always said that YG definitely makes some really really great music. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he makes some really really great music. Um, I think his whole hardcore gangster rap style is really unique and something that hasn't been done before until he's done it. So yeah, I do think YG makes some really great music. I have a lot of favorite YG songs. But at the same time though, YG can sometimes make some very ridiculous and obscure songs and obscure music that after listening to it, it just makes me want to say, God damn it, YG. But this album, however, this album is some great YG shit. And it's very, very dope. It might be my favorite album since Still Brazy. Still Brazy is my favorite YG album, and this new album is probably now my second favorite YG album. So, let's get right to it. What is up, my fellow hip hop heads and music lovers in general? My name is G-Vans, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the third and final upload for today. The final the final album for me to review today. So, yeah, let's get right to it. So as you can tell, the last album that I'm reviewing today is the fourth studio album by the one and only YG, and that album is called For Real For Real, in all caps and a 4, not a FOR. I don't know why they don't do FOR, but fuck it. It's YG's album. He gets to call it whatever he wants. So, let's talk about this. He initially was gonna drop this album last month in April as a surprise. But after the unfortunate death of Nipsey Hussle, you know, again, I haven't said this on video yet, but I said this on my Instagram and everything. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. But yeah, after Nipsey Hussle unfortunately died, YG went on his Twitter and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna drop it in May now, because of everything going on. So yeah, we didn't get the YG album last month, but we did get it today. And boy, do I have a lot to say about it. I have a lot to say about this album. Okay, well, first of all, although this album has a few songs that I could personally do without, like for example, that stupid Go Loco song. I hate the fuck out of it. Like, I'm sorry to the YG fans that do like that song. If you like that song, it's okay, but I personally do not like it. I don't like Go Loco. I think that song, Snitchin', is kind of okay, but it's like kind of stupid as well. And there's another song that I kind of didn't fuck with. I don't know. I forgot what it was called. But this album did have a few. Although this album did have a few songs that I didn't like, YG did something that he has never done before, at least for me. and that surprised me in a very, very good way. You see, YG has once again teamed up with Mustard. Mustard on the beat. He has teamed up with him once again, and this they pretty much like create a sort of like G funk sort of album, and they sort of like they sort of make this album sound like a lot like that old school like YG sound. Like YG reminisces a lot on this album on like how when he first started out as a rapper, how it used to be, how like how what being a rapper back then like meant to him and to everybody else who tried to become a rapper. Um, and he makes a really bold statement. He says, I'm the face of the West Coast. In a I don't know how exactly he says it, but it's in a song. I think it's the introduction to the album, the first song, where he says, I'm the face of the West Coast. And I think that's a pretty bold statement because I think a lot of people would disagree with him on that. Um, I personally don't know. I personally haven't really thought about who would be the face of the West Coast. I mean, I guess some people would say, like Tupac is the face of the West Coast, which I guess I would personally agree with. But at the same time, it is a new generation, so like who knows? But YG once again is aggressive as fuck as always with his hardcore like ego and personality. But he's a lot more lyrical this time, to say the least. He's not focused on game banging a lot. It's like he's like focused on being a lot more lyrical and just like making an album that I'm sure he has never made before. I mean, what I mean by that is that there are a few moments in this album where YG takes a step away from his like his hardcore ego and all that stuff, um, and he pretty much goes a lot more deep and sentimental. Uh, there's a really great song called Keisha got a baby or something like that, or Keisha had a baby, I think, where he tells a story about this girl named Keisha, having a baby and all that. Pretty much like YG's like own version of Brenda's Got a Baby by Tupac. And to be honest, is really emotional and heartbreaking and like fucking heart wrenching as well. Um, it's it's something I never expected YG to do. To test a storytelling out into like create a really like sad story like that. Um, but yeah, he goes a lot more sentimental, a lot more emotional. Talking about the street life. Like everything bad about it as well, everything good about it, everything he's thankful about it. Like how he like grew up with the street life. Um, growing up in Compton, it's like Compton is a pretty rough place sometimes, and even someone as hardcore as YG has to admit, how Compton like can mentally fuck with somebody, or just how the thug life can mentally fuck with somebody at some point. But not only that, he also has a little tribute to Nipsey Hussle, which is something that is it's just him giving like a speech. It's a really powerful and moving speech. YG talks about everything that like Nipsey Hussle taught him, like all the great conversations they had, how they got along even though they're like different gangs. Nipsey Hussle was a Crip and YG is a Blood. Um, but they got along. You know what I mean? Like they talked about some real shit. Not like some not on like some gangster shit. I guess you could say it's like a lot on some like real shit and like some like trying to give advice. Um, but like they had a lot of great conversation together. And YG like thanks him for everything he taught him, and for everything he contributed to hip hop, to his community. Um, and he pretty much just lets everybody know that he may be dead, but his legacy will always continue. The marathon continues as always. But yeah, I really enjoyed this album. Like I said, it might be my second favorite album. My favorite YG album is still gonna be Still Brazy. But I really did like this album a lot. Shout out to you, YG. That's this was a good one. I think my favorite track on this album is probably I think the song is called "I Was in the Streets." It's with Boogie and some other person. But I really like that one song. I think it's called "I Was in the Streets," but I don't really remember what it was called, so my bad. But I'll play it at the end of the outro as always. But yeah, the album has 14 tracks, is 47 minutes long, and it's 47 minutes of pure gold. So shout out to you, YG. This was a very great album. And with that being said, that's pretty much it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Follow me on Instagram down below. As always, DM me for requests. Go ahead and follow YG on Instagram down below. His new album For Real is out now. Go listen to it. It's a really great album. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to stay happy.
I was on the block when a homie sack flipped. I was right there when he got his new whip.